Hello everyone, this is Baka&Co, a show where we talk all things anime and manga, from news to previews and all our idiotic views. I am Frankfurtter, and with me is my co-host, the lad of 1,000 tasks, Magically Average. Today we are going to talk about voice acting news, SAO IRL, and more. But before that, Magically Average, Mr. Tyler, how are you today?
That was so fast. It was like in one breath. You
I mean,
good?
you asked for the energy.
That's true. I did. I also thought you were gonna say something really weird for mine. You were like the 100 desks. I was like testicles. What?
Tasticles, yes, the lad of
Testicles.
1,000 tasticles.
I wouldn't put it past you. I've been named weirder things by you,
I
but
mean, you've been
yes,
named probably the weirdest thing by Drew recently.
yeah, that's true.
I
It
don't like it.
was
You
not a good
embraced.
start.
No, you embraced it, and that's
Yeah,
what made it the worst.
for that day, and then I've sort of just cast it aside. But I'm good. Yeah, very yeah, busy. A lot of tasks, not testicles, but tasks.
Well, that's good.
Filling
Well,
up my days.
it could be both. You're a JoJo fan, so
It's true. It's true. There tend to be a lot of days where testicles do fill up my schedule, so it is. It's not too far off from the truth, but for
fair.
now, it's just a laundry list of adult life stuff. Ugh. But
Yay, fun.
yay. But anime's always there to support me. Yay.
No, it's not. Speaking of, no, I'm kidding. News number one: important news of the world of voice acting. Ooh. We're
Yeah.
gonna start this off with really sad and somber news. If you haven't heard and lived under a rock this weekend, Kevin Conroy, best known as the voice of Bruce Wayne in a number of like the Batman animated series and video games and such, he passed away at the age of 66 due to cancer. He started his career as Batman with Batman the animated series. You spelt that completely backwards wrong, but it's fine.
Oh.
Anticipated series is fine too. The animated series in 1992. He also starred in multiple roles in the series like The New Batman Adventures, Batman Beyond, Justice League, and Batman the Killing Joke. Kevin has also voiced Batman in a number of video games, the main being Batman Arkham Asylum, Injustice, Gods Among Us, and Multiverses. So just before we move on, like this one, I it's so sad. It's unfortunate. Cancer's a bitch. Fuck cancer. Like personally, I watched a little bit of Batman the animated series growing up. I think I was more so the age of Batman Begins, or was it the what was it Batman Begins where he like Bruce Wayne kind of hands off
Batman
the
Beyond.
yeah that one. Oh, duh,
Yeah.
it's in there. But yeah, Batman Beyond was more so up my alley when it came
Same.
to Kevin Conroy's Batman.
And that was such a short series too. That was a series that I remember him most fondly from. Because I was young Batman in the cool like dark black suit with the red logo and the big giant
Mm-hmm.
pointy ears, and then Kevin Conroy voiced old Bruce Wayne in that series, basically teaching the young buck how to become the new Batman. Um, Wonderful series, loved it to death, and he's been voicing Batman in a lot of the animated stuff for forever too. So, Batman Killing Joke is fantastic. That was probably one of the like in recent years one of my most like favorite one shot animated like originals, I guess. Um it was really like dark, way more than what I had originally anticipated too, and I was like kind of taken back by it. It's like holy moly. They went a
Yeah.
weird direction with this one, but boy oh boy, it felt really like gritty and kind of hit a lot of like the spots where I was kind of hoping Batman would go to. Um, but yeah, I will say too, I had the pleasure of meeting him at one of the Comic Cons that I had gone to over the years. Wonderful person. Uh,
Will be
you could
missed.
tell. Yeah, yeah. I mean, even just in an animated roles series too, and for the most part, like some of these, not a lot of people probably have even seen, truthfully, like might know him from the video game series, but like a lot of the TV series, I feel like in today's, for today's people might
Mm-hmm.
not know him. Um, had a huge line of people at the Comic Con, which was great to see. But
Yep.
yeah, will dearly be missed.
Yeah. yeah, but go replay or rewatch some of the old Batman shows. They're great. His voice acting is great, and he is really, honestly, truly the Batman because he was Batman for the longest time, other than like Adam West. So like I don't know, a lot of
Yeah.
people consider him the one and true Batman. So go replay or rewatch some Batman, get some good feels in you, and remember the good times. But in other news for the voice acting world, Takahiro Sakurai, well-known Japanese voice actor, will no longer appear at the Jujutsu Kaisen event at Jump Festa in December. Sakurai, who voices popular characters like Suguru Geto in Jujutsu Kaisen and Guyu Tomioka in Demon Slayer and Reigen in Mob Psycho. Oh, Regan, yeah, in Mob Psycho 100 was recently exposed in a tabloid newspaper for having engaged in an extramarital affair for at least 10 years. A representative from Sakurai's agency made a statement shortly after the news broke, apologizing to the unnamed woman, Sakurai's fans, and everyone involved in the scandal. No word yet on whether Sakurai will remain the voice actor for many of these characters in their respective upcoming seasons. So normally, like, if you're really unfamiliar with just kind of Japanese culture and how they treat their idols and celebrities, if you have like a scandal, there's a good chance you will never work in the industry again. Like
Yeah.
to a major capacity, that is. So something like this, which in the States this happens all the fucking time. Insert Chris Pratt here or some shit like
Yeah.
like
Any
you
fucking
will you will never they get work, but in Japan, like this type of stuff, like this can end somebody's career, and more than likely this probably will. if i'm
yeah.
if i'm being honest, like this type of shit has ended multiple careers in the past and will continue to do so.
hmm Yeah. We don't obviously get the same amount of news and like at a frequent level from Japan when it comes to like this type of tabloid stuff. Um, but that also just speaks to the fact that that's not a normalcy in Japan either. Like here in the United States, it's like you have dedicated news channels to just reporting on what famous people are doing and
Yeah,
what
you have
shit they get up to.
TMZ, like
Yeah, that's what I
that's just
mean. Like
one of a few.
you have it like not even like television too. It's like you have paparazzi that are constantly following these people and writing articles and getting pictures and like video, like just taking videos of them in all these different places, and they're basically being tracked 24/7. And granted, we both don't live in Japan. We can't speak to 100% of whether or not this is factual or not, but
Yeah,
you would think with the amount of celebrities that they still have there, both in sports and in the entertainment industry and everything like that, like you'd get the same style of news, and I feel like that's not the case. So when something like this does happen, it is very 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 like strange, and it's a big issue
yeah,
because
yep.
it's like it's not only the person's like whoever's involved, the main culprit, or I shouldn't say culprit, but the
Antagonizer, for the lack of a better
nah,
word.
yeah. Well, we'll just say the person that's in the spotlight.
Okay.
Like for them, it's not just their identity and like their entire profile that's spread across. It's like everyone else that's involved too. Like you have to apologize for like from the company that they're working for. If in his case it's the entertainment agency, the talent agency, it's like all the people that were involved in the different studios that might have been somehow associated in as a part of this scandal. Like obviously the person that was the mistress and their family and all of their, it,
Yeah,
it's a lot of like there's a lot of people attached to a single scandal like this, and that causes a huge detriment to like that this person in the spotlight, their image, their lasting impact, and what they're gonna and what the industry is gonna look at them from now on, like
yeah,
how they're gonna see them. And it's like I don't think you can really recover from something like this,
yeah,
especially since it was a 10-year-ish affair.
I was gonna say at
Like,
that point, like, as somebody who's in a very committed relationship, if you're just like fucking around and then you have to find out, it's just like, why not just break things off and just make other things official? Like, why fuck around just to find out? You know, this I don't know. I don't
yeah,
understand why people just can't be upfront and forward with
do,
things, but
do it the American way. Get 3 different
the voices.
divorces, and just keep switching from woman to woman when you get bored. It's the American way of doing things,
God damn it! If you weren't
right,
like,
Chris Pratt?
oh boy, god damn. Yeah,
Wahoo! It's a me, a Mario.
a Mario. Golly, but we're gonna move on to something much more happy and much more fulfilling news.
Yes,
News story
please.
number 2. I want this so
Well, this
bad.
isn't really that happy.
Oh
It's
God,
not that. I don't know if it's that
sign me up,
happy.
Chief. I'm in. This is news story number 2.
Wow.
SAO is coming to real life with a real life VR headset that will kill you if you die in the real life. Or well, if you die in the game, you die in real life, but not really. Palmer Luckey, the founder of Oculus, recently unveiled a new pet project on November 6, 2022, the same date the Sword Art Online VMMORPG launched in a critically acclaimed series. And just like SAO, Lucky has attempted to create a VR headset that can kill its wearer. Literally. Lucky was quoted saying, "The good news is that we are halfway to making a true nerve gear. The bad news is that so far, I've only figured out the half that kills you." Lucky has also made a blog post titled, "If you die in the game, you die in real life," referencing a line from the anime. Lucky's SAO killer contraption makes the one from the anime look like a little kid's bike helmet when it comes to the method of killing its user. An SAO, the nerve gear, would use a microwave emitter to fry the user's brain. But Lucky's homage to the nerve gear uses 3 explosive charge modules connected to a photosensor that will fire and kill its user when the screen flashes at a specific frequency. Think game over or try again, except there is no do-overs because your brain is literally exploded from 3 different charges.
Yep.
He's working on a mechanism from preventing others from removing or destroying the headset as well. While Lucky has acknowledged that his pet project is still a faraway reality, he has added that this could be the first non-fiction example of a VR device that can actually kill the user. And it's like a supervillain finish with, "It won't be the last." Um okay, it's mostly a joke of me saying like, "Ah, yes, sign me up," but at the same time like, wow, the world. We look at the world and it's just like, "Ooh, sign me up,
So,
Chief."
yeah, so I reading the article, I was like in disbelief, but then I kept reading a little bit further and found more about him, and seems like a very eccentric person, we'll say.
Yeah, to say the
But
least.
yeah, does in fact have a like a real life version of the device he has outlined, like in this article. Like, it is like an Oculus nerve gear device that you wear on your head. It does in fact have explosive charges built into it, and they are set off using photosensor flashes like a game over or try again or press continue screen that will detonate the explosive charges. Like, all real stuff, he said. And it in the article basically also says something like to the effect of like, it's just in my office, and it's more of just, it's like it's just an example of what we could eventually get to
Yeah.
at some point in life.
Which I pulled up.
And
I pulled up the thing for whoever's watching the video or the stream. It just looks like a VR headset, but like it looks like 3 freaking filter or 3 what is it,
like C4.
needles? Yeah, like
Yeah.
like injection needles are about to like just stab you in the brain. But God,
Yeah.
what a world we live in.
It's yeah. I love the fact that someone would watch Sword Art Online and take the main thing they take from it, right? Not the immersive VR, the virtual reality aspect, not the like sensory aspect. It's no, I want to actually kill people in the video game, like real life. Like, I want to murder people who die in video. Like, if you suck, if you're a noob, you don't deserve to play anymore. You deserve to have your brain exploded by 3 explosive charges built into this system. I also like the fact that he added too that he's trying to work on a mechanism for preventing others from removing it or destroying it as well. So it's like
I assume like he would
it's
just make the explosion a little bit bigger to affect everybody in the room.
I imagine it's like the outside is like touch sensitive to where like it'll shock users, and like the more you hold it on, like the longer and stronger the shock charge goes, something to that effect. Or like you touch it and it immediately blows up their brain. Like you're like, if you touch the device, they'll just die too, so they're stuck, they have to win. Have fun.
Yeah,
But
no, I think that this kind of news story is just hilarious. Like I added this, I was like, this is just too funny to not add, because
well,
like it's one of those things of just like, we watched the show. Okay, if you're an anime fan, you probably watched Sao. If you haven't, you're lying to yourself. And if you have just heard that it's fucking weird, I would give it a shot, because yeah, while some of it is very weird, some of it is very, very good. This portion of it being very, very good, I really enjoyed this kind of premise when it came out. They've done it, it's been expanded upon in recent years, but I enjoyed the premise when it came out. And for this to somebody actually make it, I think is hilarious that they would spend their extracurricular time to try and make this. Like, that's hilarious. But at the same
yeah, why not?
time, let's hope this doesn't come to fruition ever.
Yeah. Well, I put this akin to the roller coaster that one of the like a Lithuanian engineer, I believe they're an engineer, but they might actually be a doctor or some sort of physician, created, where it's basically like a euthanization coaster.
Oh, okay.
They brought it to like some sort of like science festival where they're like, yeah, it's this giant roller coaster that has 7 loop-de-loops, and like it goes from like really big to smaller, and it's based on the g-force. You slowly start to lose consciousness because your blood is just like going up and down and up and down and up and down, and
Oh,
then by the end of the ride you die. And they're like, it's a harmless and more enjoyable way to pass if you have like a disease that you're in, like
yeah.
stage 4 cancer, and there's
Well,
no hope of survival or anything like
if
that,
you don't
right?
know what euthanasia is, it's basically just a assisted. It's like
Yeah,
assisted suicide, essentially, is what it is.
basically, yeah. It's for anyone who, yeah, the idea the person came up with is like, instead of finishing off the days strapped to a bunch of wires and stuff in a hospital, it's like, if you enjoy roller coasters and or just having a thrill, like this would be a better way, because it releases like your endorphins, and it actually, like serotonin, and it actually feels pleasant to go down, and then you pass away.
Yeah.
But I attribute this to that, except this is more supervillain-esque. At least the Lithuanian doctor was like, had good intentions and was like, this is more harmless. Meanwhile, that Lucky's just like, I want to blow people's brains up if they suck at Fortnite.
Yay! God knows my brain would be all over the freaking wall
by,
or chair or
by
whatever I'm sitting in.
yours and mine would both be dead immediately if we were playing COD Warzone, because we never put our parachutes out in time and just die on impact.
Oh, can confirm, 100%. Yeah, that one
So
brain
yeah,
cell, that it would find the one brain cell that's still just kind of chugging along in my head, and
you
it'd get it. It'd be gone. But we're
yeah,
gonna move on to something a little cuter, but also a
actually
little
cuter.
actually cuter, but also really dumb. The second part's really dumb. Actually, well, we
Yeah.
can discuss both. Grogu gets cuter, and Attack on Titan it's still stupid.
Yeah.
So let's start with part one. Grogu. Solid marketing and promoting on Twitter. This past week there was a cryptic tweet that was made by Studio Ghibli, whatever you want to call it, in which the tweet was made on November 10th, and it was a short video showing the Lucasfilm Limited logo followed by the Studio Ghibli logo right after. It was literally like 10 seconds long, or 15, whatever
Yep.
the hell. So it's like, it was just the two next to each other, and it was like, what the hell? So everybody, of course, on Twitter were like, piranhas at fucking Beach Day 2022. I don't know. 2019. I don't know. Anywho.
Deep Blue. Is that what that movie's? No.
I don't know. Just piranhas
Oh,
at the
Piranha.
beach.
Piranha
Just
3D.
Piranha 3D, sure. Basically, they just ate this the fuck up. They were like, "What in the
Yeah.
hell? What's gonna happen? Oh my god, it's Studio Ghibli, ooh, baby. We got Star Wars. What can possibly go wrong?" And then the following day, it was released or revealed that on Star Wars Twitter that it was going to be a new hand-drawn animated series titled Zen, Grogu, and Dust Bunnies. It was going to be an original short animated by Studio Ghibli, and will be on Disney Plus the following day. So the tweet was made on the 10th, which I believe was Thursday.
Thursday.
Friday,
Yeah.
it was like, hey, this is what's going to happen. And then Saturday, it dropped. So it was
Yep.
literally like back to back to back.
Bing, bing, boom.
Yeah. And just stopping right here, did you watch the 3-minute short?
No. Do you not? We just started off this show being like, Magically Average has no time. When do you think I have time? Do you know I scrambled to just get this script written? When do I have time, sir?
When you poop?
No, that's reserved for
When you
reading.
Poop?
No.
You can watch 3 minutes when you poop.
Well, in fairness, I could probably watch half of a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure arc while I poop.
That's true. You and I do take we both take a very long time to poop.
Yeah, but no, I have not watched it yet.
I watched it. I'll say it's fine. It's cute.
It's not supposed to be anything. Yeah, it's not supposed to be anything fantastic. It's just one of those things, I assume, where it's like you just partner up and make something adorable together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not supposed to be like groundbreaking or anything.
Yeah, that's all it was.
I wasn't going in expecting it to. Yeah, I wasn't going in expecting it to rival The Mandalorian or some shit.
You weren't?
I mean, I wasn't, but now I am because of what you said. So if I don't think, it better be as good as The Mandalorian now. Otherwise, I'm coming for your ass.
I just said it was fine. It was good. It's cute.
Mm.
But yeah, so if you haven't watched it, it's 3 minutes long. It's on Disney Plus. I'm sure somebody's also probably posted it on YouTube a billion times because it is only 3 minutes.
I was like, I'm sure it's all over TikTok and Instagram and every.
Oh, absolutely. Thing. It's probably everywhere. But 3 minutes on Disney Plus. Go check it out. It's a cute little time. You can waste 3 minutes worse. But on the flip side, we have the Dum Dum Attack on Titan final season. Over the past weekend, a key visual for Attack on Titan, the final season, part 3, was revealed in Tokyo, and boy, oh boy, it's a visual. It's literally a visual. The visual shows the main Survey Corps squad swirling down Eren, who's the founding Titan form. It's just a visual. It was dropped about a week before Anime NYC's being held, where Isayama, the creator of AOT, will be in attendance. A direct quote from Anime News Network: "The third part is billed as the anime's franchise's conclusion," which
conclusion
doesn't say this is the last and final part of Attack on Titan. It's just like, hey, this is billed as the conclusion. So, we talked about this like a couple of weeks ago. When we said that that Isayama was going to be at Anime NYC, like, hey, will we find out any more news or whatever? It's like, we might get a date. We might get or not a date, but we might get a season. We might get 2023. If we get 2024, I'd be shocked. But
I think it's already technically it is confirmed for 2023.
Yeah, it is, but we'll get reconfirmation for 2023. That is.
And truthfully, I think that's all that's gonna come out. It's just gonna be that. Hey, it's 2023. Here's the key visual.
Yep.
Maybe they'll show like a portion of Eren in the founding Titan form with a quote being like, this is it, and then people will cream their pants and freak out. But like, first off, if we want to just talk about the visual itself, it looks like one of those posters you find in like the $5 barrel at Target, like for like if you like anime, you can get your favorite anime on a poster, and it's like that's what the visual looks like. I'm sorry, it's not a jab at the artist, it's not a jab at Isayama, who's the creator. It's really just like there's nothing there. It's like when I see key visuals or like a new visual was dropped from a series, you don't expect spoilers or anything like that, but you kind of want something that like will build up anticipation. Mm-hmm. This to me doesn't, because it's like and people are gonna shout and scream from the rooftops and be like, "What are you talking about?
Well,
It's the Survey Corps is attacking Aaron." It's like, no, no, they're not. Where do you see that? They're just swirling around him.
they have swords out,
What?
but like, yeah, I don't know. Like, you and I are
But
both in the same boat. We're not. We're gonna watch the final part, but neither of us are very excited for it for the fact of how they've handled season 4.
I am. I'm not. How do I want to phrase this? Because I have to choose my words wisely because of everything I've said so far about Attack on Titan. I am excited to see how it ends. I know manga readers have been shitting their pants apparently because of how the series ends in the manga,
Mm-hmm.
and they're interested to see how it's adapted. So not in that boat. Just as an anime watcher, I'm excited to see how the series ends, but I'm going in with little to no like real expectation of it being good. Because I've wanted it to be good ever since I started it, and it's only upset me almost every single season. Like season 1 was one of the best seasons of Attack on Titan, if not the best in my opinion, just because of how well they laid out every single little detail of the part. And it was episode 1 drew you in immediately. There was like, you got gore, you got action, you got thrills, you got, all of the heart-wrenching scenes and stuff like that. Like, boy oh boy, what a first episode too.
Yeah.
And then everything else since then has just been like kind of mediocre. There's a handful of good seasons in between, but like it's been really, really dismal. So no, I mean, I'm going in expecting it to be 6, and if it's higher, then great. If it's lower, then well, I guess I should have just expected it to suck worse then. But yeah, but going back to the visual though, like I just don't release anything really.
Yeah,
Like if you're gonna do something, just show something. Like just put that poster out at Anime NYC and have Isayama talk about what's going on, and then that's your big thing, right? But just releasing this dumb poster and being like, "Y'all excited for part 3 of season 3 of part 4 of the final 4 seasons finale," and
Arcade
all the yeah, and all the brain dead people are like, "Yeah," because they just don't know what's going on. They just hear final, finale, and they're just like, "Oh my god, it's finally, finally happening." I just, yeah, just save it for Anime NYC. I just, and also, I hope all you other people, AOT fans out there, know that this isn't coming out until like November of next year. So don't hold your breath. We were doing math on like, October. Well, I mean, knowing Attack on Titan, they might try to like.
I think it'll be June. June is my bet, but I think
nope.
I think it'll be June.
There's no way. There's no way with them animating Chainsaw Man now. They've got Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm going to assume Jujutsu Kaisen is going to come out in the spring of next year, so they're going to have to do that. They've got the Isekai that's coming out. I think that's early 2023. I think that's next season, I believe.
For what? Which one?
But if not, I'm going to say summer or spring. And then at some point they have Hell's Paradise. We don't know when. And then they have this. They have Attack on Titan. Those are like the big ones. I think they also don't they have 1 or 2 movies as well, I think.
Yeah,
but I can't remember if it's like
Yuri on Ice is one.
I can't remember which ones they are.
Yuri on Ice is one of them. As for
yes, okay,
there are others. I'm not entirely sure, but I think the only reason I say summer is because they've been putting these out once a year, and like usually it's in the winter, or the other two have been winter. Like parts 1 and 2 have been winter. So
right,
with the fact that they haven't said, "Hey, this is coming out in winter," I do think that it will be later in the year. I think summer is a good bet, especially for the fact that they haven't said when Jujutsu Kaisen's coming out either. I think that okay. So here, let me just kind of go with this. Right. I think that Jujutsu Kaisen, it's been simmering, it's been in the oven. They're going to have that ready for spring 2023. that'll be a two, like that might be a one season, it might be a two core, we don't know. However, that's been in the oven since, let's see here, the first season came out October 2020. So it's been in the oven for over 2 years now. So I think that having 2 years to do at least start and storyboard and do everything for season two, I think that spring is fine. But to have a year and a half for Attack on Titan, which you've pretty much already know everything that's going to be coming out, like paneling, like I think summer, if not fall, will, like fall for sure, but I think summer's a decent bet.
Vinland Saga 2. We forgot that other one.
That's coming out in winter though. That's already that's already happening.
Yeah, but I know, but my point is though that while you are correct in that the last two parts have come out within a year, how do you? I can't remember off the top of my head. There was quite a long gap between season 3 and season 4, I believe. Like
of Attack on Titan?
I believe so.
There's been
either between 2 and 3 or 3 and 4. There was a large gap, like a significant time.
So season 3 part 2 was July 1st, 2019 is when it ended, and then season 4 part 1 started December of 2020.
Okay, so then it was between 2 and 3.
It was just a year and a half. It was a year and a half.
Yeah,
or less.
Then I think 2 and then it was between 2 and 3, because I want to say the first season of Attack on Titan came out in, let's see, was I still in high school? No, I was in college. Was I in college? I think I was in college. 2012? Was it 2012?
The show started in 2013.
2013. Okay, that was close. So I mean, like, you think about like 2013 is when the first season came out, and then significant gaps between I think season 1, 2, and then 2 and 3, and then from 3 on, it's been pretty like, bing, 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 bing. I wouldn't doubt that they would want to take a little bit more time with part 3 of season 4, assuming that it's the actual final.
I think
Again,
summer. Yeah, I'm still gonna
we're
stick
speculating.
with summer. I'm still gonna stick with
We're
summer.
speculating.
But,
I'm saying fall. I'm saying October. I know I'm right, and when it comes out in October, I'm going to take a big fat shit on your chest, and then stand above you, and then stab you.
Like Bochi stood above all of us with their fucking guitar playing this past week. Anywho,
yeah.
But yeah, just the whole thing with the key visual. The moral of the story is really bad marketing. Like, you have this big event that's coming up next week. It is a marquee event because you're the author of the friggin' show or manga or whatever the series is going to be there, and then you're like, here's a visual,
Here's our target poster.
Here's our target poster, but here's our visual. There's no news for it except for get ready.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really just save it. It's really dumb.
Let Isayama do his magic.
Unless you're gonna release another visual next week, which I doubt that's gonna happen. Like, why? Why have this?
Yeah.
But anywho,
maybe they'll turn it into a GIF.
Maybe.
Or GIF.
But guess what? It is time for my favorite segment: new dates and announcements. Ba bow ba bow ba bow ba bow ba bow ba bow. I don't know. I got new bows and every week.
I'm just never happy. I'm never happy for this because
you're never happy in general. You're a curmudgeon.
I can't deny that, but thankfully this list is pretty short compared to last time.
Yeah, not a lot of announcements like last. Well, you did a lot for last week.
Yeah,
yeah, not a lot this week, which is surprising, but there's still a decent amount to actually talk about. So, first one being That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime is getting a 3rd season, which I am very excited about. I thought this was already announced, but apparently no. It's just the movie that was announced, which is coming out in Japan here shortly. It had its actually premiere this past weekend, and that's why this was announced, or last week, and that's why this was announced. But okay. Yeah, really looking forward to season 3, because season 2 of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime was excellent. I thought it was really, really good. But 3rd season, great, have fun. The skeleton enchanted by the cursed blade, the greatest demon lord who conquers the dungeon and commands an invincible army, the manga is entering its climax. So
I
Yeah.
climaxed while listening to that title.
That was you heard correctly. That was all one title. I
Yep.
thought it was a light novel. No, it's a manga. So weird. Anywho, Flaglia, which was the like boy band anime thing that we talked about last week, that you were like, oh, this
Yeah.
got announced. It was announced that it will start its broadcast in January 2023. So add another anime to, I think that's now 62 for next season.
No,
So
I think we're at like almost 70.
I don't know.
I
We're
honestly
at a
think we're at
lot.
almost 70.
We're at a lot, but moving on. The Shinuji siblings manga has resumed after a 5-month hiatus. This is done by the same guy who does Rent a Girlfriend, if I'm not mistaken. So that manga is coming back. Good for you. This one was really interesting, and I want to talk about this one. Cygames, which is a video game publisher, will have an original TV anime in 2023 titled "The Marginal Service." Which if you have not seen the poster, it is just like a bunch of like caution tape, and behind the caution tape are just a bunch of naked dudes and like
Oh, I
one
know.
naked girl, and then a flying squirrel that's like flying above all of them. And no idea what this
I
is
know.
about, but I'm in.
Uh, First, I is it a flying squirrel or a tanuki?
I think it's just a squirrel, if I'm not
Okay,
mistaken.
because the tanuki thing would make more sense because I think the whole lore with them is that they can stretch their scrotums and fly with it. I think that's a Studio Ghibli film. It's based around like there's an old one. It's based around like a family of them that do that. But anywho,
Yeah, that's
yes,
definitely a
I know.
squirrel on the poster.
Okay,
I'm looking at the
well,
poster, which I will not
never
bring up
mind.
for the feed. You can just Google it
Yeah,
yourself.
dude. Yeah, yeah. I know very much about this because my wife was like, "Hey, let me know when this comes out," and I'm like, "I will put it on the list and set notifications."
Yep. But yeah, it's really weird that Games is, you know, doing this, which it's fine. Like their games aren't the greatest thing since sliced bread, but they're passable, they're fun. But this will be an interesting one. I've got my you know I've got this in the Rolodex for whenever it comes up again.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, all right then.
Much of you younger audience don't know what a fuck a Rolodex is. Have fun with that Google search. Moving on,
Yeah,
the cafe,
should I page you using my pager?
your beeper.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm good.
Oh, you went beeper. Oh,
Yeah, call me BB
wow.
if you want to reach me, baby. The Cafe
Yeah.
Terrace and its goddess will debut in April 2023. The Vampire Dies in No Time, the manga, will take a 1-month hiatus due to the author's health, so get well soon. The Weakest Tamer began a journey to pick up trash. Novels will be getting a TV anime, no date on that. The anime project for VTuber Kizuna Ai is titled Kizuna no oh god, Allele? Allele?
Yeah.
Allele? I don't know. And will
Hello.
premiere as a TV anime in 2023. A Kiss with a Cat, the manga, will end in December 2023. Did I do that right? I thought that was 2022. I don't know. It's ending within a year or so. The anime Yuri is My Job was revealed that it will premiere in spring 2023. The author of Starting Today We're Childhood Friends has launched a new manga miniseries titled No Miyahara, It's Not You. So if you like romance manga, there's a new miniseries, which apparently it's going to be a short miniseries. So not a lot to it. So go check it out. The manga, the Crab Cannery Ship New Testament, will end on November 25th. The poster for this one was bizarre as hell, and I absolutely was intrigued. It was
I
like
don't even.
it was like people on a boat, and there was like a giant crab looming over in the background of the poster. I don't know. It was great. That will be ending on November 25th. My Life as Inukai-san's Dog will premiere on January 6th. You said that it got announced, and it got a date now. So have fun with that, you pervs. Princess Principal Crown Handler, which is the third film in the series, will open in Japan on April 7th. Black Clover's manga will take a 2-week break due to the author's health. The first 4 new manga in Shonen Jump was released on Sunday and is titled The Ichinose Family's Deadly Sins, which you have told me already you did not read it. I read it.
Nope.
I read it, and I have a feeling this one's going to be either a short series or it's going to be canned pretty quickly. I'm probably wrong. This one, out of all the new ones that have come out within the past, few months or so, has been the least interesting. Long of it short is like 6 family members are in a car accident while on vacation, and every single one of them gets amnesia. So they try to act like friendly and like make up trips that they've done to try and jog their memories as to who they were or whatever. And then they finally go home and they each go into their rooms and they all come back like into the main room of like, oh boy, I saw some weird shit in my room that does not think that like I don't want to give it away, but just like
Yeah.
it's it did not. I'll read a few more chapters, but it's really got to hook me. And the first chapter was just it's fine. So yeah, if it interests you of just a not necessarily murder mystery, but a mystery of, oh, who am I in this weird quirky family, go check it out. Cocoon Entwined, the manga, will end on December 12th. Mini 4 King manga, which was a manga about like mini cars, I think, has ended. However, the author and its artist will start a new serialization in weekly Koro comic on December 17th. The game Ace Angler Fishing Spirits is getting a manga, so that's pretty neat. And then
Cool.
this last one, which I'm actually really excited about, the Game Awards have announced their nominees for this year, including a new category for Best Adaptation, which instead of like, a game adapting a like anime or something, it is a show or movie adaptation of a video game. So the nominations for this that I'm bringing this year included Cyberpunk Edgerunners, but it's got a tough. Like, I loved Edgerunners, but I mean, it's going up against Arcane.
Yeah.
It's going up against Arcane. The other nominees are also the Cuphead show, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Uncharted. It's gonna be either Cyberpunk or Arcane, and I think Arcane's gonna win this one because holy shit, that show was. That was beautiful.
I keep telling people too, because unfortunate for Arcane, it says like Arcane, like a League of Legends logo
Story.
beneath it. And people are like, ew, League of Legends, gross, toxic, ew, gross, nasty. And I'm like, if you go in, like not knowing anything about League of Legends, right? If you just go in and you watch this like just as any other cartoon, you will be blown away.
It is so good.
Absolutely blown away.
That was me. I knew
you don't have
nothing.
Right. You don't have to know anything about League of Legends. Mm-hmm. It's not important that you know any of the characters or their lore or even like where this takes place. Nothing. It's so fantastic. And like for me, someone who plays the game, you catch little things that you can appreciate.
But it's not it's not a main point.
Exactly. Like it is the best, in my opinion, currently out, the best adaptation of a video game because it can bring in any and all audience to enjoy it. It doesn't have to be the people that play it religiously or that know the lore, or it can be your fucking uncle who's never played a video game in his life could watch it and enjoy it just as much as any other person.
I'd rather it be a regular uncle than a fucking uncle, but that's fine.
Yeah. It could, well, uncles have categories. It's drunk uncle, crazy uncle, funny uncle.
Crazy so you can't just have Maurice, eh?
Yeah, you can't just have a normal uncle. It's got to be one of them.
Yeah.
How about fucking cool uncle? You make your fucking cool uncle watch Arcane, and they could probably love it. But yeah, I just, as much as Cyberpunk Edgerunners, has had a lot of hype around it, and rightly so. That's just such a tall task.
Yeah. Yeah, like my fiance, she doesn't like anime, but I was like, hey, I really want to watch this show, and I think you'll like it. And we watched Arcane, and she absolutely loved it. Like, we've been talking about it recently that we really want to rewatch it because it was so damn good. But man, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time investment.
Every so often on our Netflix, and I always look at my wife, and I'm like, you should give it a try. And she's like adamant, like, no, never. You're gotta catch me dead before you make me watch that.
I'll see if I can't help convince your wife.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I'll just watch it a bajillion times by myself. I don't care.
That's fair. But anywho, yeah, that's the last news story, is that the Game Awards have included a new nominee for Best Adaptation in the opposite direction of what you thought it would be. So good on them. Glad that exists because, yeah, more video game adaptations are happening. Like, I think the Gran Turismo movie actually just started filming. So that's pretty
Nice.
neat. But we are going to move on to our last news story, which is more box office news, which we love to every once in a while pop in here and be like, look at these numbers. They go up and up and up and up.
Yeah. Numbers, numbers, numbers. Business, business, business.
Business, business. Yeah, what is it? Fucking Maple from.
Is this working? It's the Unikitty from
Oh, I was
the
thinking.
Lego movie.
Oh, I was thinking that it was Maple from Gravity Falls.
No, it's business, 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 business. Is this working?
Oh, I think Maple says something very similar. But anyways,
Probably.
back to the anime movies. Suzume Closing Doors is winning at the box office in Japan, and which in its first 3 days made 1.88 billion yen, which I did not do the conversion, but have fun with that one. In its first 3 days, making it Shinkai's biggest 3-day opening ever. To put in perspective, this sold 14.8% more tickets than his last film, Weathering With You, and 38.7% more tickets than his movie before that, Your Name, which Your Name brought in 1.277 billion in its first 3 days. So,
by the way, 1.88 I think is like 22 or 23 million.
Yeah. So it had a very good first 3 days, which rightfully so, because like this movie does look absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I kind of know what the plot is after, like, do not watch the trailer for this movie because it will absolutely spoil the entire plot for you, which really sucks. I wish God any and all.
I've erased my brain of it.
I was gonna say it's hard. It's hard too for me because just like it was something I was excited for, and I took every fucking frame, and I was like, oh no, what have I done?
Yeah.
But like
He
I
just
feel like
absorbed
just
it.
in general, like Hollywood and anime, they need to get better with their trailers and not fucking showing off anything. Like, for example, the movie Nope that came out this past summer, like they did a really good job with their marketing because I didn't know what the fuck that movie was about except for the fact that there might be aliens. Who knows? But yeah, it made a shit ton of movie. The movie is set to come out worldwide, except in Asia, in early 2023. Crunchyroll will handle distribution in North America, while Crunchyroll and Sony Pictures will handle distribution in Latin America, South America, Australia, New Zealand, the Middle East, Africa, and portions of Europe. So essentially everywhere else. Also, I find it kind of redundant that it's Crunchyroll and Sony Pictures because they're one and the same at this point. Like, yeah, I don't know. But I'm glad that this is getting some traction in Japan. It'll be interesting to see what its first week is and what the second weekend is like, because One Piece Red, I feel like every week we just saw just an update of One Piece Red is absolutely killing it in the box office in Japan. It's number 1 for 6 straight weeks. And so it's one of those things, okay, can this dethrone One Piece? It already has. But 2, like, can it has the staying power of One Piece, and can it do better than, Your Name or Weathering With You in the long run? So I haven't looked at any reviews as to what people are saying. I've just seen the numbers. So glad that it's getting some traction. Can't wait for it to come out in North America because I'm looking forward to this one. But glad it's in early 2023 because the rest of my year's fucking booked up as can be. So, like, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to go see Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.01 in theaters because it's right.
You call yourself a fan?
So it's Remember how like a few weeks ago that I was like, "Hey, it's premiering on November 30th in the States. Great, I'll go see that one." It's premiering in IMAX only, and it's only premiering at specific theaters, and the closest one to me is like 30 miles away. That's a no from me. That's gonna be a big ol' nope. But yeah, so this will be. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm glad it's coming out next year because I will definitely be seeing it. Yeet that cat! Get the cat out of here.
I put him down gently.
I know it's not like the one time where you fucking just yeeted him and just tossed him. But anywho, that is it for our show, except for our last news segment that I almost forgot about. our recommendations of the week. This week we will be going over manga or anime this is our segment where we go over our manga or anime recommendations. I feel like we haven't had an anime recommendation in a very long time because it's like we go over the shows the beginning of the season and then like midway through the season, and then neither of us really have time to watch shows during outside of that. So I mean, granted, I do during work. I've been watching a shit ton of dubs, but I've been trying to get through JoJo before December 1st, so that way I can watch the new JoJo when it comes out on December 1st. So I
Good
finished.
for you, man.
I know. I finished Stardust Crusaders today, and I'm about a third of the way through. Yeah, I finished the first like 12 episodes of.
Of Diamond is Unbreakable?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Old man Smithereens just fucking landed in their place, so that's what
Yay.
happened. Yeah. So this show is I mean, it's not something I'm going to recommend. Actually, I guess I'll go first because I've been rambling on. That's not my recommendation. You probably already know if you like JoJo or not. So have at it. But my manga recommendation is going to be for the series Zom 100. Right now, if you're watching the video, I'm holding up issue number 8. Issue number 8 just came out. I've been a huge fan of the series. I've started reading when the second one came out. I saw like the first one. I was like, this looks interesting. I don't know if I'm going to get it. And then my little sister's like, hey, or she was like, oh yeah, this is what I got recently. I was like, oh, tell me how Zom 100 is. She's like, oh, it's very good, but don't like. I was like, cool, I'll buy the first 2 issues. She's like, cool, I know you're gonna take this on a trip. Don't take this on the trip because if you start reading it on the plane, there's some zombie boobies in there, and you're just not gonna want people to see that. I was like, good call. But this series is just so nonsensical and just fun and just a wild romp through Japan filled with fucking zombies. Like it's a fun series. It's not super serious. Like there are serious moments, but not. They're far and few between. It's just a good feel good. Fucking my vocabulary's gone out the goddamn window. It's a feel good series that I'd highly recommend. Is some mild anime like zombie boobies, but live characters they're just cleavage and everything else and butts.
Gasp.
Butts everywhere.
Oh.
Especially the one guy's butt. There's a guy in there who'd like to just get naked, and he just his
Give me
butt
that
is
juicy
everywhere.
ass.
He's got a juicy butt. But anywho, go read Zom 100. It is only really available unless you're pirating it. It is only available in print. I think I don't know if you can get it digitally. That's something I'll have to investigate. But Zom 100 is my recommendation for the week, as issue number 8 or volume number 8 has just come out in the States. Good sir. What are you reading or watching that you would recommend to everybody?
Mine is much more wholesome because there's no nudity and it's just cuteness overload. But
You're
it
saying
is
that
called
Zom 100 isn't wholesome?
I mean, listen. I love a good juicy man ass every once in a while, but I would not recommend that to my grandma to read. Okay, that might that might be a little too much for her. Mine is You and I Are Polar Opposites. You can get it on the Manga Plus app, which is free. It's a wonderful read. I like it more just because the art, and this is not a jab at the artist by any means or the creator. It's a lovely series. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, but the art reminds me of like someone doodling in like college. It's like super derpy at times. Like there's scenes where the main character, basically it's about 2 characters who are friends, or so it seems. One is like a gyaru type, kind of loud in class, really smart though, and the other is a guy who is very quiet, very straightforward, tells it like it is, has like kind of no filter really, and you just don't think they'd ever get along. They are, as the title says, polar opposites, but find out that they have a connection with one another, we'll say. And what ensues is a lot of fun situations with the 2 of them and their friends, and seeing how their 2 personalities clash at times and, meld at times. But the art is what really drew me in because it is very funny. There's scenes where like she goes down into kind of like gremlin mode and like has these really like fast running sequences where her like legs are like way up in the air, and she's like kind of Sonic-y old cartoony style where like she's got like 5 legs all kind of going and her arms are like flailing side to side, and she's like sprinting and her hair is like whooshing everywhere. Funny stuff like that. I like that kind of art, and this has a lot of that. So if you like, I'm on a Gal and Gyaru kick right now. I like those series. They make me smile. But if you like funny, quirky romance, go read You and I Are Polar Opposites on Manga Plus now. And it's free, unlike Frank's, which is not free. And because he doesn't like poor people, he makes you buy things.
Yeah, I've been recommending free things the
Frank.
past few weeks, but whatever. Yeah, looking at it right now, there's 18 chapters out, so you can easily
short.
get through that. Currently,
not like Hokkaido Gals are super adorable. That one's got like 87 or 8 or whatever. Yeah, this one's much shorter right now.
Yeah, and this
plenty of time to catch up.
And it looks like it's a simul release, so they come out new chapters every Sunday. So more to come on that. But thank you all for joining us this week. We will be back. Well, no, I won't be back next week. I will be off next week because I will be out of town. We may or may not be back next week. We being Tyler and him, we being Tyler and unknown person. So
yeah,
potentially we'll have an episode. Potentially we will not. More to come there, but we will definitely be back, the both of us, in 2 weeks. So until next time, Spark Triumph. We'll see you then.